An Essay on Crimes and Punishments by Cesar Beccaria. Chapter 5. Of the Obscurity of Laws. If the power of interpreting laws be an evil, obscurity in them must be another, as the former is the consequence of the latter. This evil will be still greater if the laws be written in a language unknown to the people, who, being ignorant of the consequences of their own actions, become necessarily dependent on a few who are interpreters of the law, which instead of being public and general, are thus rendered private and particular. What must we think of mankind when we reflect that such is the established custom of the greatest part of our polished and enlightened Europe? Crimes will be less frequent, in proportion as the code of laws is more universally read and understood. For there is no doubt but the eloquence of the passions is greatly assisted by the ignorance and uncertainty of punishments. Hence, it follows that without written laws, no society will ever acquire a fixed form of government, in which the power is vested in the whole, and not in any part of the society, and in which the laws are not to be altered but by the will of the whole, nor corrupted by the force of private interest. Experience and reason show us that the probability of human traditions diminishes in proportion as they are distant from their sources. How then can laws resist the inevitable force of time, if there be not a lasting monument of the social compact? Hence, we see the use of printing, which alone makes the public and not a few individuals the guardians and defenders of the laws. It is this art which, by diffusing literature, has gradually dissipated the gloomy spirit of cabal and intrigue. To this art it is owing that the atrocious crimes of our ancestors, who were alternately slaves and tyrants, are become less frequent. Those who are acquainted with the history of the 2 or 3 last centuries may observe how from the lap of luxury and effeminacy have sprung the most tender virtues, humanity, benevolence, and toleration of human errors. They may contemplate the effects of what was so improperly called ancient simplicity and good faith. Humanity groaning under implacable superstition, the avarice and ambition of a few, staining with human blood the thrones and palaces of kings, secret treasons and public massacres, every noble a tyrant over the people, and the ministers of the gospel of Christ bathing their hands in blood, in the name of the God of all mercy. We may talk as we please of the corruption and degeneracy of the present age, but happily we see no such horrid examples of cruelty and oppression. An Essay on Crimes and Punishments by Cesar Beccaria.